folks, and welcome to Greg's Golf Shack. I'm driving outside of St. John's, Newfoundland today into the Salmoneer River area to play the Wilds Golf Resort. And I'll be with some of my old friends, golf group. So, I'm going to try and record the round and see what happens. And we'll see. I probably won't hook up microphones and things like that because it would just be rude. I want to be able to visit with my friends and talk to them, so I might narrate over or see if the camera just picks up the sound. We'll see. But we're going to have some fun. It's a beautiful course.
Now, weather is a little precarious on this day. There's some drizzle, some fogs, the sun will pop out a little bit, and it's still considered early season. The crew here would consider it early season, and the peak is going to be in a few weeks when we finally had, a little bit of time for the warmth and the growth to occur. But it's fun. Now, I struggle with my swing today. It seems anything I do to fix it goes the opposite direction, but it's going to lead to some really good videos on how to fix some swing faults. So, here we go.
Getting ready to go here. My buddy's coming over with the cart. I don't know what to expect today. My back is really tight. Made the mistake of doing a big back and bicep workout yesterday, so I'm going to be casting the club and everything, but I don't care. Let's go out, have fun, and just play some golf.
Now, hole number 1 is a 343-yard par 4. It kind of doglegs to the left there, so a draw would be nice here, but that one fades. You can see I fell backwards a little bit, and I struggle with that all day. So I'm left with about 120 yards, side hill lie with it above my feet. I take a pitching wedge and I chunk it. Oh no. So you gotta expect that's gonna cost you a stroke. So I've got about 80 yards or so here. This is a 54 degree, and I pull it to the left side of the green, but we're putting. And a pull with falling back in the swing like that is gonna be common on this day. So we've got quite a long putt here, probably 25 feet or so. It's breaking from left to right, so we play that break. Just doesn't quite turn enough, but pretty good speed. We tap that in for a beginning bogey. Now, number 2 is a par 5, 514 yards, and I'm still struggling falling back, but pipe a decent drive down there. Just finding the right side of the fairway. So I take a 4 hybrid here. There's lots of water on the right side, so I don't want to be too aggressive, and just hit a 4 hybrid kind of down the left side here and just fades a bit into the fairway, leaving ourselves a nice approach. So I've got a 9 iron here from about 135 yards, just trying to get it over the trouble and onto the green. And it's not a bad shot, a little bit left, but we're giving ourselves a birdie putt. So another long putt here, just under 20 feet. Plays pretty straight, but just breaks a little bit to the right, leaving ourselves a little bit of a tester for a par, but we knock it in and move on to the next. We're 1 over to here. Now this is an interesting par 4, 303 yards, hard dogleg to the left with some trouble on the approach. So I just take a 4 hybrid here, hit it off the toe, and it's really skirting with danger over the bunkers on the left side. But thankfully, I found it. It just came up short of all that long stuff. It's below my feet, it's thick in the grass. I've got about 100 yards, and this is a gap wedge, just trying to get it into safety. A pretty good shot there. It does hang out to the left side, but we're safe. So I've got a 60-degree wedge here. I'm gonna try to chip this in actually and see if we can skirt out with a birdie, but it doesn't quite get in the hole, so we just tap that in with that wedge and we save a par. Now this 121-yard par 3 often plays a little bit longer. I've got a 9 iron here and hit it pretty good. It's heading straight for the flag. Comes up just a little bit short on the front edge, but I'm going to putt it from the fringe. Good distance. We tap that in for a par. Not too bad. Now hole 5 is a 375-yard par 4. You can see you really need to carry the tee shot, but it's not that far. The hole doglegs to the left. This is where course management comes into play. I pull it a little bit, but I feel like it's good down the left-hand side. It was actually a pretty good hammered drive, but it got that long grass just behind me there, so I took a drop. I'm 150 yards. That's an 8-iron. I decided to play for that pull, and of course I just push it out to the right. So we've got a 54-degree wedge here. See if we can get it onto the green and rolling down towards the flag. And it looks good from my perspective here, but it's still quite short. And this is quite a breaking putt that I just didn't give it enough. Good pace. Pop that in, and with a drop, that's a double bogey. Now hole 6 is 385 yards, par 4. Things go off the rails a little bit here. Fall back on that drive a little too much, and it is a little more than fading. That's a slice to the right. It finds some deep grass. I'm about 180 away, and I take a 6-iron, just hoping to carry the hazard that's in front of the green. But that long stuff catches the hosel, and I pull it across the fairway, and it goes into that junk. So I had to take a drop here, about 135 or so with a 9-iron, and wouldn't you know it, I smoke it. And it carries the green and lands in that back bunker. So really tough lie here. Ball is kind of above my feet and on a really steep downslope. I've got a 60-degree here. I just want to get it out. And I should probably be aiming a little further right of the flag, but I'm just happy that that thing gets out on the green and gives me a double bogey possibility to save. But nothing is dropping today for me. So that's a triple bogey 7. That's okay. Now hole 7 is a 496-yard par 5. It's really welcoming and big, and just all these holes feel kind of isolated in amongst the trees, and it just is so quiet and nice. I bomb one there. Now still a good 260 yards out or so, so I just want to try and smooth a forward up there, try and give myself a nice approach into this green. And it stays on the left side, but carries those bunkers. I'm inside 100 yards, and this is a 54-degree wedge that really looks good. Kind of stick it in there for a good look at birdie. All right, a lot of confidence here. Really good look at birdie. I give this a really nice strike, and just lips out. That was a really good opportunity missed, but we tap it in and get our par. Hole number 8 is a very scenic par 3, playing about 158 yards, but with the slope, it's about 130. It's way below the feet, but look at that view. So I take an 8-iron, and the same sort of swing happens, and I pull that out to the left. It is flirting with danger, but easily to be distracted when you're looking at that landscape. So I'm deep in the rough here. The left side of the green, I take a 60-degree and try to lob it up there. Just gets hung up in some of that long grass, gets onto the fringe, and I'm hoping to hole one out here from the fringe. So we give it a good roll. It's looking good, but just breaks a little much under the hole, so we tap that one in for a bogey. We're just happy we didn't lose a ball on that tee shot. Now hole 9 is a 375-yard par 4, but a heavy dogleg to the right and really goes downhill where your tee shot lands. So driver isn't the best option here. I take a 6-iron, just put it down into the flat fairway. And you really have to carry a big valley hazard here. I have about 150 yards remaining, so this is a 7-iron. And it carries nicely, but again, just pulls to that left side. And I find a big bunker. It's starting to rain a little bit, so I try to give this a mighty swing with my 54, but get a little too much sand, and I'm making a 2-putt difficult here. So we hit that putt. It's a pretty good roll, but comes up a little bit short, but it doesn't prove to be an issue, and we tap that in for a bogey.
All right, 8 over on the front. little veggie falafel wrap for some energy, and hopefully we can find the swing. It's pretty stiff. See if we can do better on the back.
Hole number 10 is a 356-yard par 4. Welcomes a big tee shot. You can kind of take those bunkers out of play on the left and right, and that's a good one up the middle. So I'm left with about 123 yards, and this is a pitching wedge that I hit up there nicely, but again, that pull is just haunting me, and it drifts into the bunker, so I've got my 54-degree wedge. Give it a good hack. It takes the break and rolls towards the flag, but leave myself a little tester in the rain. Now this break was a little bit unsuspecting. It started breaking right off the face, and we just missed it. So that's a bogey. Now number 11 is a par 5 here, 473 yards. Good drive there, again off to the left, but there's lots of room on both sides here. You can really smack this one and get away with a little bit of a wayward shot. So I'm in the rough here. I can't get to the flag, which is still 250 away. So this is a 4 hybrid that I just popped down there towards the flag. I didn't pull it this time. I kind of expected to, so I'm just in the rough along the side of those bunkers there. 54-degree wedge from 70 yards here. Just get it up on the green. We've got about 16 feet here. It rolls nicely. Looking at the hole, but just breaks a little bit too much. So we tap that in and save a par. It's really difficult to tell what is the signature hole here. This is number 12, a 344-yard par 4, and you've got to take it over a hazard with the tee shot, but still leave it short of the water there. So that was a 4-wood. I'm left with 165 yards. Ball's above my feet out of the rough, and that's a 6-iron that I finally hit one good. It sticks it pretty close to the pin.
Pin high, putting for birdie.
So we've really got another realistic look at birdie here. Give it a nice roll. I gave the break a little bit too much respect and missed it. Putts just aren't dropping today, but the greens are rolling really nice, so that's a par. This 147-yard par 3, number 13. It's a beautiful hole. I play an 8-iron there, and it just carries over the flag. Actually a good strike, but another long putt here. Just around the 20-foot mark, and this is a breaking from right to left, but again I left it above the hole, which is okay. Tap that in, make our par. Make our way to number 14, 326-yard par 4, pretty short. Welcomes a big drive. There's some room out there to the right. I bomb it there. I think this is going to be really well down in the middle of the fairway. But it drifted a little bit left, just caught some rough there. We've got some rain, a lot of rain, so it's a little bit wet in there. But I take this 54-degree wedge from about 80 yards and give myself a good look at birdie here. It's a long putt, so we give it a good roll, anticipating it's going to break a little bit from left to right. Not quite as much as we thought, but a couple inches away for a tap-in par is always welcome. Number 15 is a 390-yard par 4, and I play conservative off the tee here with a 4-wood. Hit it really well and leave it in a really good spot for an approach. Now I messed up the recording here. I had 160 yards and I chunked my 6-iron, but I got it over the hazard, so I'm left with a gap wedge. And of course, because I just chunked it, I thinned that one. It races over the green and goes into the trees behind it. So I had to drop here, and I've got my 60-degree. Play it up there. I didn't realize it was going to play away from the flag. I thought it might turn in, so leave myself a testy double bogey putt. And again, I'm just not saving anything today. Tap that in, and that's a triple bogey 7. I mean, wow, every hole here has a stunning view. Number 16 is a 344-yard par 4. I think I let out a little frustration on this one. Hit a really good drive. Just turns to the left a little bit, but carries those bunkers. And I'm just left with a short approach here, 80 yards. I take a 54-degree wedge. stick it just to the right side of the pin. Again, giving myself a really good look at birdie. Another breaking putt, got to be careful with, and boy, I just left that one way under the hole. Tap it in for a par, making things difficult. Number 17 is another scenic par 3, about 158 yards. I take an 8-iron, and it's a pretty good strike, a little to the left side, but it's on the putting surface, and I'm giving myself a chance. Really long putt, we're about 30 feet here, and I give it a really good roll, goes on my line, just hit a little pitch mark there and went offline. That one had a good chance to go in, but we tap it in for a par. There's a view from the bridge you take to the next tee here, number 18, par 5, 466 yards. I take a 4-wood, and my energy must be gone. I slice that out. It's looking like trouble, and it just catches the trees. But I find it, and I love punching out of these little shots and try to save it. So I punch that out to the fairway. I still have a good 240 yards left, so I'm going to try that 4-wood shot again, see if I can get it down near the green to give myself an approach. I hit the exact same shot, just kind of slice that out to the right, but it's safe. I give myself a look here. We've got about 70 yards or so, a little 54-degree wedge up onto the green. And it comes up a little short, just the grass caught it. So I've got a lengthy par putt. Be really nice to save this one after chipping out of the woods. So I give this a really good roll. It's looking good. Oh, very close. So we tap that in for a bogey and a score of 85, 13 over on the day. But look at it out there. Can't go wrong with a golf trip like this.
All right, that was a fun round. I mean, I shot an 85, not the greatest score, but a couple of blow up holes there. One on the front and on the back had triples. That doesn't happen very often, but hey, it happens. And I had a double on the card as well. So that's 8 over just with those 3 blow up holes. You don't need any excuses to love this course. This course is beautiful. The Wild's one of my favorite in the island. I highly recommend you come out and play it. We're definitely going to be back here and going to do some more filming. Hopefully I can get out alone and do a little bit more narration and show you a little bit more of the peripheral of this beautiful course. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed that, and we'll see you next time on Greg's Golf Shack.